Hello, and thank you for joining us. Welcome to Freedom March. I'm Levan Miller. You're listening to us on 103.5 The Beat FM, channel 224, that's on cable, channel 112, that's over on Flow, and of course, our TV studios over on Facebook. But wherever you're choosing to listen to us, thank you so much for listening. Now, a lot has happened over the weekend or over the past week, and I'm not really sure why didn't we get into the fray of it earlier, but I do intend to get into it today. I see that a lot of backing and forwarding, the old people would say, has been transpiring with regards to who is a little girl and what is a little girl, and if I is a big woman, and if I is a woman with a law degree, and I have children, and la da 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 da. You might recall that right here on Freedom March, we did something called social normalities. And so, we're going to get to that at some point in this show. We're going to also address the fact that it is being purported that misogyny is a social normality. And I want to state very early that I disagree with that. I want to say that I think women in our society that consider themselves intellectuals, they bear or spare no effort, and they never miss an opportunity to call people that either disagree with them, that either offer differences in opinions than them, or that simply do not acquiesce to them. They like to name call. And you will find that no matter how intellectual the name calling is, name calling is name calling. And there were some people from a school of thought who have said that whenever a victory cannot be won by the facts, the presenter of the argument or the counter argument becomes the topic. And I found that to be quite ordinary in the culture of the way Bahamian women like to argue their positions. And so I've heard Michael Pintard and the hullabaloo about how this thing is that thing and that thing is the next thing, and I don't know if I agree with any of it. We're gonna open that up a little bit, and then I'm talking to America, because big man, let me tell you all something. I don't know if you all think this the United States of America, Bahamas, but we have a sovereignty to protect, and we don't take the dictates from you. We'll be back. Hello, welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you so much for staying with us through the break. I'm Levan Miller. You're listening to us on 103.5 The Beat FM, channel 224, that's on cable, channel 112, that's on Flow, and of course ILTV Studios over on Facebook. But wherever you're choosing to listen, thank you so much for listening. Well, let's get right into it. So last week, you would recall that former Member of Parliament and former Cabinet Minister, as well as former Chairman of BEC, Leslie Miller, referred to in an interview the FNM's ratified candidate for Kalani as, what did he say? So there's this little girl that's running against Dr. Minnis. And of course, she responds and says that, you know, we must end this culture of misogyny, right? Put up the article so that I can read it, because I want to make sure that I can read exactly what was said. I don't want them to say that I'm lying, but I want them to understand that politics isn't slide push clap. Do you understand that? Politics is designed for roughhousing sometimes. And what I will say is, I don't know if as a result of someone calling you a name, you can call them a name and or refer to some name calling that sounds educated, but in actuality is at its most base form, it's name calling, right? So you talk about needing to do away with the misogynistic society, and I don't really know if we could just get away with calling everybody a misogynist. I don't know if every time someone has any hard thing to say about a woman, that they should be referred to as a misogynist. And I want, particularly you women that are educated, I want you all to do away with that practice. I want you all to stop the name calling. I mean, and you all don't miss an opportunity. You go in every bar or every watering space or every social circle, and until your ears bleed, man. Everybody is a misogynist. Everybody is narcissistic. Everybody gaslighting. I want y'all to lose these bunch of name calling, because it is unfair that I could live in a society where if I say anything to you, you just start calling me names. And I have argued that in many instances you are calling me names that you are not qualified to call me. So here is what happened. Put the article up so that I could read it. Former Progressive Liberal Party Cabinet Minister Leslie Miller said yesterday that he believes the PLP should not contest Dr. Minnis in Kalani, arguing the former Prime Minister deserves respect. Despite the Free National Movement's decision to cut the ties with him, Mr. Miller, former Tall Pines MP, said he has told Prime Minister Philip Davis that the PLP should not run a candidate directly against Dr. Minnis, stressing the FNM's treatment of him is unfair. I don't think it's fair to his constituents. And then the little young girl who was running against him, the audacity of her to go there and talk about she wants to run the place, he said. I mean, for Christ's sake, show some respect. The man, he was the Prime Minister, you know. You don't treat him like he is just, you don't treat him like he just walked from Olden Corner, you know, I don't even know what that is. The issue has come into sharper focus as the Constituencies Commission prepares to recommend boundary changes ahead of the next general election. Kalani, one of the largest constituencies in the country, is widely expected to be split. Mr. Miller said, if the constituency is divided, the PLP should only contest the new seat, not Dr. Minnis' existing one. I'm sticking with that because I don't think he was treated the way he should have been treated as a former Prime Minister and as a man who works hard, that should be, on behalf of his constituents, he said. The FNM ratified Senator Michaela Barnett Ellis for Kalani following an announcement in April that Dr. Minnis would not be renominated. Dr. Minnis has pledged to run regardless, expressing confidence in re-election even if the seat is split. Some members of the FNM's Kalani Association have already declared their support for him, warning the party risks losing the seat. Mr. Miller has long voiced support for Dr. Minnis despite their political differences. In 2016, while he was still the PLP's Tall Pines MP, he described Dr. Minnis as a close personal friend with the heart, mind, and compassion to lead the country. At the time, he dismissed criticism that his support for Dr. Minnis was motivated by self-interest, insisting he was born a PLP but valued the friendship. Scroll me back down so that we could go right to the paragraph that talks about the comment made by Mr. Miller that the person contesting is a little girl. Because anything you hear out of context can sound bad. Until you put it into context, you look at it through the cultural lens, and then you interpret what is said. And these people must, I don't know where they've been living all along, because the entire way the Bahamian society is created isn't misogynistic. No. I'll tell you a little story about myself. Let me read this first. It says, I don't think it is fair to his constituents. That doesn't sound like misogyny. And then the little young girl who is running against him, the audacity of her to go there and talk about she wants to run the place, he said. I mean, for Christ's sakes, show some respect. The man, he was the prime minister, you know. You see how that there also doesn't have a Jesus Christ in heaven thing to do with his testicles? It doesn't have anything to do with manpower, with a patriarchal society, or anything. It has something to do with a social hierarchy that people like her have set up. And so Karl Marx says that, you know, people like them create these classes so they could be important, so that people that are in a lower class could need people like them to govern. That ain't me. That's Karl Marx. And Karl Marx says that because we're in a race for, or an infinite race for finite resources, people like these figure out a way to make themselves more valuable by things like I as an attorney, by things like I've been called to the bar, so that when they argue these things, you sit there and say, yeah, boy, you know something? We really should let her do it for true. And all Mr. Miller is saying is, yeah, well, don't play like 10 years or 12 years as an attorney Trump's prime minister. There is nothing misogynistic about it. And so someone's going to have to show me the misogyny, right? Because I don't even know where y'all keep getting the audacity to use these words. Everybody misogynistic. Everybody narcissistic. All of a sudden. And if you cannot reach for a PhD in psychology, I might spray you with a water hose if you say it about me. There you have it. So let me tell you something about me. I was born in a family to a woman with 18 children. That woman with the 18 children has about 74 or 79 grandchildren. I just lose count. In my family, the woman them, they don't like to be pregnant by themselves. So what this happened is once one of them get pregnant, 5 of them is get pregnant. I don't even know how they pull that off. What that has led to, though, is generational blocks in my family. And so, if you go throughout my family, what you will find is that every 5 to 7 years, there is a stack of us that are born, and at the top of that stack is the eldest cousin who, guess what, happens to be in charge of the stack of grandchildren born in that window. It don't have nothing to do with the fixtures of the grandchild. It's not the eldest male grandchild, because in the stack that I come out of, Latoya is in charge of the stack. Why? She born in 81. And the rest of us born in 83 and 85 and 87. You see how there's nothing misogynistic about that? But the entire Bahamas runs on an invisible hierarchical structure tied solely to age. And you could go in almost any inner city community. This is your problem, you know. The problem is y'all want to govern a society that y'all obviously y'all are not a part of. If you go in any over the hill community, anyone, pick one. I don't care if it's Ruperdale Lane, Two Shop Corner, give me one more, Dumping Ground Corner. I don't care where you, Ida Street, any over the hill community. It is not uncommon to hear adults, grown men, say to other grown men, boy, I older than you, who you talking to? Do we not live in the same Bahamas? See, that's why I keep trying to tell you all, come or these little gated community and go where people this be and see how the people that you all want to govern actually this live. Because what you will find is that many times the only superpower your cousin have over you is he older than you. And because he, mommy, push him out before you, you should listen to him. I older than you is a colloquially accepted badge of superiority. Anywhere in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas you go. And it is not uncommon for if you younger than me, for me to say, this a little boy, man, I know when he born. As a matter of fact, it's not uncommon to hear big man tell other big man, this boy is a baby man. I called the midwife to catch him when he was born in. But somehow, y'all don't live in our society apparently. And y'all want to create these matrices that simply do not align socially, and then y'all wonder why y'all doing so poorly. It is because y'all don't look or sound or feel like us. You see the problem? And that's why nonsense like this have to be news for 3 days. Somebody called you a little girl. I was in the watering hole on Friday when the 56-year-old woman tell me she can't drink wine to the table with me because I's a baby. Did I call her an anti-misogynistic breeder of new special feminist culture? No. I say, ha, ki, and I continued watering. But all Leslie Miller is saying is, I mean, for Jesus Christ's sake, the man was prime minister. You really can put the prime minister through this? And this woman act like somebody pour hot water around the middle of her back. That's just the most bunch of kicking and screaming I've ever seen. As if it's gonna, one, add any political collateral. That's not gonna happen. As if it isn't absolutely socially normal. And as if there was some form of disparagence or some sort of, I don't even know what to say. You cannot convince me that Leslie Miller meant something bad by this. And they don't pay me to say this, and I really couldn't care if Leslie Miller was seen as a misogynist. I'm saying this here ain't misogyny. And so Michael Pintard, you should let it go. Miss Michael Barnett, LLB, you should let that go. Because this ain't really enough to be making no news. And I don't get it. Let's hear what Leslie Miller had to say in response to this bunch of, hey, we might as well just, you know what, how about we just close the whole place down and everybody just get into one big game of slide, push, clap. Because if that's what we're turning the parliament into, I deliberately played some of the clips from the Jamaican election. I mean, you hear some of those remarks. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't try to evolve, or that we shouldn't try to be more dignified, or that we shouldn't try to be more polished. I'm saying politics is a gladiator sport, my friend. You never play porking, eh? Producer, you ever play porking? And the number one rule in porking is if you cry, you go on the porch. And you don't come off. And you don't get to play no more. Because you can't play porking good. It is socially accepted that that's a rule. There ain't no porking manual nowhere. There ain't no porking handbook nowhere. But if when I pork you, you cry, guess who can't play porking tomorrow? If when I pork you, you go tell your ma, guess who can't play porking tomorrow? And there's nothing. I want you all educated people, especially educated people with ovaries. Stop name calling. Stop acting like somehow you all exist in the mesosphere of intellectualism, and that everybody that doesn't align with your theory is somehow flawed in humanity and you need to call them a name. Let's hear Leslie Miller's apology.
I have respect for the lady. And do you have children?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, okay.
But I mean, it could be said for you as well. I think you were 43 when you first entered politics. He's around that age. Don't you think this was a little bit disrespectful?
Not really. I wasn't even forming my thoughts at that. Like, I was thinking what a prime minister and a young person decide to go up against him. And furthermore, to go to people's headquarters and to be looking for space. That they would like to take the space. I mean, that's unbecoming. Why would you go around someone's headquarters if you know they're there, paying their rent and up to date? Why would you want to replace them and say that he just came by and you expect his support? Why would someone support someone who's against him when he's running? I mean, it's just unheard of. Somebody will change what you said. I could apologize to her for if she, get offended. I have daughters that's older than her. I'm Yasmin and Leslie. Older than her, so I accept. Plus, you have children, so I accept that. I don't have a problem at all. I'm sorry, my dear, but not again. But I think you need to just calm down a little bit when you're speaking to people.
I'm going to read Michael's response when we return from the break. But I want this culture of abusive language from educated women to come to an end. I want you all to just live in a normal society where we use normal language, even with the people that disagree with us. Don't move, Freedom March will be back. Hello, welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you so much for staying with us through the break. I'm Levan Miller. And so we return to the story of, I don't know, Michael Barnett Ellis, who, believe it or not, I mean, I don't know if she would make the news outside of this story, truth be told. And so I have to inquire about how hurt is she really? How much of a point is she really trying to prove? Or is she trying to make the headlines? And you can't say, oh, why would she just be trying to make the headlines? Because she's a politician, and politicians that don't make the headlines are considered uninspiring. And I don't know if you've noticed, but several of them over there can't make the headlines. And, you know, you have to take any opportunity that you kind of can get. And this right here, in a time when you really see the world pushing for gender inclusion and woman involvement, which I am not at all opposed to, you have to be very cautious that we aren't turning moles into mountains and making martyrs out of people that otherwise would be quite ordinary, because we cannot pinpoint anything extraordinary about them. And so, is it politics? I think so. I will also argue that if it is politics, then I consider it fair, because politics is a gladiator sport. And if you find an opportunity to take a cheap shot, which I have calculated this to be, then you take it, right? But we live in a society, again I will say, particularly with a bunch of educated women who do not offer counter arguments, who do not offer counterpositions, who do not necessarily even offer alternative thoughts for considerations. They simply categorize, particularly anybody with testes, every argument contrary to the one that they offer as a person being misogynistic, narcissistic, or a part of the patriarchal society that they have deemed abusive. And I don't know how fair that is. I don't know how right it is. And I don't know how much more of it we can actually let women that are educated get away with, because what I think it does is I think it removes all responsibility or all requirements for responsible behavior. And so, like I said, I've read the story. And the simple thing is, when you consider the status that Hubert Minnis has ascended to, he is a former prime minister, for Christ's sake. That's what Leslie Miller say. And when you think about the fact that he is a former prime minister, didn't we say the same thing about Travis? Didn't we say this little boy can't beat BJ? Travis done been to college 19 times since we meet him, and people still refer to him as Lil Travis. What is he going to say? That somehow we are being unfair? If you was dead serious about being a politician, Michael, and you don't pay me for advice, but I'd give you this piece of advice. If you was dead serious about being a politician, you could have flipped this story into one that makes you look like a gladiator, and you could say, well, tell Leslie Miller go coach his friend, because I can tell you one thing, I hear a woman beat Leslie. Because that would be factual. Isn't Veronica Owens the person that unseated Leslie Miller? Yeah, don't worry about that. Leslie, he used to getting eatings from woman, because a woman beat him. So tell him, go tell his personal friend, a little girl coming to beat him next, so he could go coach him on how to take beating from a woman. But not her. She roll over, scream, they killing me. And I can't understand. What is it even about? So anyway, let's show me the of what she said, so I could read the response, so people could kind of get a grasp for why this makes no sense. Do we have the the piece from Senator Barnett's response, and I want to say that I'm quite a fan of her mom, by the way, who I think is a phenomenal woman. But that's probably why you find that some people do not come into the political space, because being in the political space requires a different set of skills. And one of those skills is tough skin that could take abuse. Let's go to the clip from the leader of the opposition. Let's go to that.
And this is yet another, another statement that is most irresponsible and disrespectful to women in general. He has a daughter that's doing a commendable job in the Parliament of the Bahamas. And again, it's disrespectful to all women who serve or seek to serve. You would have remembered some unfortunate remarks he made when he was a member of Parliament, again, relative to women, that was most distasteful then. And he has been a fierce defender of others who have been accused of similar actions. So I don't have a great deal of expectation that he would speak in a responsible manner, and I trust that others would not follow his example.
Y'all remember when Hudson Moultrie attacked Philip Davis's wife and her nationality? Y'all remember that Michael Pintard was sitting there beating on the desk? When Mr. Hudson Moultrie talked about how his wife was an indigenous Bahamian woman, and oh, what an indigenous Bahamian woman she is. So my question is, where do these people draw the lines? Are we all just going to continue to ponder and clamor for our desire to be relevant in this push towards, I'm making this word up, womanity? Anyway, so it was reported in one of the dailies that former Progressive Liberal Party Cabinet Minister Leslie Miller maintained that his recent comments about Free National Movement Senator Michael Barnett Ellis, which drew widespread criticism, were not disrespectful and not intended to be offensive. Miller, speaking last week, took issue with the FNM's ratification of Barnett Ellis in Killarney instead of former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, who has represented the area from 2007. In his comments, he referred to Barnett Ellis, a 43-year-old woman, attorney, and mother, as a young little girl. Barnett Ellis, in response, labeled Miller's comments as misogynistic. For a former cabinet minister to belittle me in this way is not only disrespectful to me, it is disrespectful to every Bahamian woman who has worked hard, earned her place, and stepped forward to serve, she said. This is misogyny, plain and simple. And it is exactly the type of tired, small-minded, you hear the name calling, thinking that has held the Bahamas back for far too long. Asked on Saturday whether he believes he was disrespectful, Miller said, not really. I could apologize to her if she gets offended, he said. I have daughters older than her. So I'm sorry, my dear, but I think you need to just calm down a little bit when you're speaking to people in that context. The political season is on, and people are going to get upright about it, but I have respect for her as a lady. In her response to Miller, Barnett Ellis said his comments were demonstrative of the PLP's broader views towards women in leadership. The FNM has made a deliberate choice to bring forward a new generation of leaders, a younger, fresher, and more diverse slate that includes more women than ever before, she said. We are stepping forward to represent every Bahamian, to bring new ideas, and to build a future that is not trapped by the prejudice of the past. The PLP wants you to believe that women cannot lead. I wonder if they would use this same language about their own women in Parliament. If not, then why do they believe it is acceptable when speaking about me? Miller's daughter, Leslie Miller Bryce, is currently serving as the Seabreeze MP. Miller was also around the same age as Barnett Ellis when he entered frontline politics. Barnett Ellis said the Bahamians deserve better than this backward rhetoric. We deserve leadership that debates ideas on merit, not on gender, she said. You see the nonsense? There's nothing about that had anything to do with gender. Ah, boy. That is the standard, and I will uphold, and that is the change I will fight for. The FNM's Women Association also condemned Miller's egregious remarks. We regret this outdated thinking, and we call on all Bahamians to do the same, it said. Chair of the Caribbean Women in Leadership Bahamas chapter, Robin Lyons, a former PLP senator, was also among those who decried Miller's comments. Sewell has long advocated for and championed the need for more women to enter frontline politics, and indeed all spheres of leadership, for the advancement of our country, she said in a Facebook post. When they do, they should be greeted with due respect and full recognition of their credentials and value. In a follow-up post, Lyons, who said she was accused of defending the FNM over the PLP, added that some things should and must transcend the immaturity that can often exist in politics. Every personal insult, attack on somebody's family, lie, gutter remarks, classist, sexist, racist, reckless comment must be condemned, she said. Challenge opposition, discuss policy, put forward legislation, regulations, and suggestions that move our nation forward. My political affiliation and persuasion is no secret, and neither is my integrity. I choose principle over politics every day and any day. In his original comments, Miller said he believed the FNM's treatment. See, the context. And how we pass the context of this message so willfully, it just appears orchestrated to me, if you ask me. Because the overarching theme was, it is improper to do this to a former prime minister. That was the overarching context of this message. Who is the gender and who got what fixtures and little girl and woman ought to be. And I love Robin Lyons, but Robin know me and her. This here is nonsense, right? And I get it, in her position at Sewell, she gotta say titillating things that make women feel good. But we wasn't talking about woman. We was talking about the whole former prime minister in a fight for his life for a nomination in a party where some of the most underperforming cabinet ministers in his failed cabinet are now standing at the gate and telling the prime minister he can't have a nomination. That is what this argument is about. Not about what kind of fixtures you leave heaven with. And again, the word young little girl, come on. Come on. We've heard it about Travis. Who else we've heard? I've heard it about Lincoln. Why, when we refer to young men as this little boy trying to take on this person or that person, you think they even refer to Travis as David going to go to Goliath? What greater innuendo could refer to him as a child? I remember you all rolling over and hollering and screaming then. But as soon as you do not agree with these intellectual women, all of a sudden they start smart people name calling. And I have a problem with that. Anyway, in his original comments to the Tribune, Miller said he believed that the FNM's treatment of ministers to be disrespectful, and he said he was calling on the PLP not to run a candidate in Kalani to show some respect to the former prime minister. Miller, who was the PLP's long-standing candidate in Tall Pines constituency, was publicly upset over the party's decision not to nominate him ahead of the 2021 general election. While he initially threatened to run as an independent candidate in the constituency, he later threw his support behind Dr. Michael Darwell, who is now serving as the Tall Pines Member of Parliament. And I say to you that there are some things, I listening to these bunch of hateful adjectives, misogynistic society and backward thinking and patriarch. I ain't listening to them because that's name calling too. Just how this little girl is name calling, these other very smart words, they are also name calling. I'm saying that at the bare bones of this matter, Mr. Miller said, let's show some respect to someone who has made it to the upper echelons of society, and let's pretend like we have some respect for that. Let's act like we have some respect for that. Not because he's a woman, I mean a man. Not because Michael is a woman, but because the man has given 20 years of his life. Because the man was a prominent, very rich doctor who just wasn't looking for no job, but he decided to give his life to public service. He became the prime minister. He gave opportunities to the same fellas that telling him now ain't no opportunity for him. And all Leslie Miller says, man, that can't be right. And Leslie said in his interview, and then you go on to the man headquarters talking foolishness, but you won't rent the man headquarters while he occupying it. The only thing that could come behind that statement is, little girl, don't play with me. Because some things just look like you're trying to overstep your boundary. And coming to my headquarters is one. You're not trying to take my constituency. And if the maths is right, when Dr. Minnis became the member of parliament for the neighborhood, you must see Jess was coming out of law school. I even ain't sure if you'd done been to bar school. So colloquially in the context, it is not uncommon. And there is nothing hateful about it. And Robin, you don't have to defend things like this because there's a whole lot more woman issues out here that require some serious defending, but this ain't one. Oh, my pressure, Lord. Oh, Lord, don't let these people raise up my pressure. Anyway, Bradley, I didn't talk till my mouth was dry. Bradley, the spiritual advisor extraordinary and plenipotentiary.
Yeah. So what's the story?
What say you? No, Bradley, I didn't horse talking. You want to know the story?
Yeah, man, I heard the story about somebody being upset that they were actually called something that they probably didn't think it was right. And they were right.
What's right about it?
I say they were right, and Leslie Miller should have not used that word. Now, had he used the word novice, because I think that's what may have been in his mind as he looked at his seniority in politics and her probably just starting out.
How old is Leslie? About 74. Him
right,
and
I believe he was 39 when he started.
He was about 41 when he started. 41, 42, something like that.
Okay, I saw something that says he was like 39
Okay.
when he first started frontline.
Sure.
But you don't use that woman. She's a woman.
And?
She's a lawyer.
And?
She's been called to the bar years and years. Yeah, but you don't use the term little girl. That's disparaging. It's demeaning. It's degrading. You don't do that.
Show me the degrade. Show me the take me to the degrading part.
See the actual the way you're using that for a woman.
Who has all the time in the world?
Yeah, but you don't use those terms. That's not the correct word to use for her. I'm telling you, had he used the word novice, then that would have come across a bit differently. Because a novice is like a beginner.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying? But to say little girl.
And the Bahamians just talk like that?
How old is his daughter?
Older than her. Which is exactly what Bahamians would say. I got children older than her.
But
I got children older than this girl.
But Leslie is not much older than she is,
Well,
right?
I don't care if I older than you by 2 minutes. You had right to beat me out the canal.
And I wonder if Leslie does approach his daughter by saying little girl.
Quite possibly. It is this quite possible that it is not uncommon for a man to say to his daughter, I don't care what your title is, man, Bradley, spare me. You know what my Grammy...
I won't do it.
You know what my Grammy used to say to us? I don't care what you become in life, boy, you ain't gonna be bigger than me. I don't care, you could grow tall as Jericho Wall. You ain't gonna never be man in here.
In the context that it is used, it is, to me, I'm saying it is used in a very disparaging way.
Show me the disparaging way.
To refer to as a little girl,
Yeah.
you're basically insulting her. That's what you're doing.
And see, these
You know something? Do you know there's some women who you may speak to casually, and if you text and you say, hey, little girl, what's up? She'd be like, little girl? Who you talking to? I'm a woman. Women don't take to that too well when you approach them in that manner.
Okay.
So, Clarice, not today. I see you send a text on my phone. Clarice, between me and you, we're good friends, but not today. All right? You wouldn't want nobody to call you no little girl.
I don't see what the issue is.
So, don't, Clarice.
I was just in
don't
the
do that,
watering
Clarice.
hole on Friday and the woman called me a baby. I suck breast, sure. I ain't no baby. What about me with all
It was not. It
32
was
of my
improper
teeth?
to me. I feel as if it was improper. Everybody deserves. As a matter of fact, producer, I sent you a passage, and I want to show you how very strong this is. Even the young evangelist Timothy faced some opposition because of his youth, but he was a great worker in Christ.
And that's what you ought to be.
And you know,
listen. And so she had said, yeah. I can tell you one thing, Leslie, them 30 years older than me. You know what that mean? They can't outrun me. And I want to let you know, beating coming here. Old man, you can't outrun this. Beating coming.
Right. So Paul told him, he said, listen, don't let no one look down on you or despise you.
Yes.
Because you're young.
Yes.
All right. And I think we need to move away from that.
But it's not despising. Spiritual advisor Leslie Miller said.
By calling
No.
calling
Leslie
this
Miller
woman.
said.
She's a woman, you know.
Leslie Miller
calling this woman a little girl.
If you don't
Come on,
read it
man.
and you take it out of context, Leslie Miller say, for Jesus' sake, we talking about a prime minister. And you have this little girl talking about she won't take the man constituency. This a prime minister we talking about.
But you know what is interesting? You said just now, and you described the former prime minister's cabinet as a failure.
They are a failed cabinet.
So did he fail?
Doesn't matter. He was prime minister.
But now you see my point.
Well, by your argument,
So
Michael
now you see my
Pintard should
point.
go in the wilderness. Ellsworth Johnson should go in the wilderness. Darren Henfield should go in the wilderness. By your argument.
Well, they're looking at it as if to say, well, listen, we moving in a new direction. He's now the leader of the party, and he's now steering the party
away from the minister's cabinet
in a new direction with fresh young legs. Now, to be honest with you, now I don't understand too much of the in-depthness of the politics, right? But if I was Michael Pintard, I would let ministers have that seat.
That only makes sense politically.
Yeah, I would let him have it. But it seems as if the problem in allowing minister to have the seat, minister seems as if he is a very sneaky, derailing kind of person when it comes to the inner workings of the party.
But
Michael
he
probably
doesn't have
feels
the
as if
instruments.
minister may try to overthrow him.
Ministers have the MCMs. Ministers have the. Michael Pintard have the MCMs. Michael have the council. Michael have the general body. Michael have everything. The only thing minister would be is another member of parliament.
Yeah, but
and what the man name? Because I almost say what the boy name or the Southern Shores. Because it's colloquially accepted. What the fella name in Southern Shores?
We say it, but some people don't accept it.
What the fella in Southern Shores name? The Rev.
Major.
And the Rev say, boy, if all you is a member of parliament, dog better than you. Denisio Diagla come right back and say the same
Leroy
thing.
Major.
What you want to do, be a member of parliament? Because everybody knows a member of parliament don't have no bunch of pull.
So it seems as if you seem to have seen nothing wrong with what Leslie Miller did.
Nothing at all.
Wow.
Here's the thing.
Mr. Miller, I think you should apologize,
If
though.
you go...
I think you should apologize, though.
How much children your ma got?
9.
9.
No, sorry. 6 now. 3 died.
How much she had in total?
10.
Okay. Who's the oldest? Not you.
Presently, no. I have a sister that's older than me.
Okay.
I'm the second oldest.
What you used to call your oldest brother?
How you know about that?
Man, I asked what you used to call your oldest brother.
How you know about that?
Because I could tell you, you can't call your oldest brother by his name.
We used to call him boy.
Bala.
We used to call him boy.
Okay. Because you can't call his name. My Uncle Frank is brother. No one in this family could call Franklin.
Yeah, we used to call him boy.
Because you can't call him by his name.
Why not?
Because that's the colloquial rule.
Really?
And you don't call your big sister by her name. You know what you call her?
What you call her?
What you call yours?
I just call her Rhea.
Her name
is
Because you was a disgusting
Bertlin.
boy.
No, her name is Bertlin Maria Rule.
And you call your
just call her
oldest
Rhea.
sister.
Really?
Oh, boy.
I know you used to do that. Anyhow.
Calling your oldest brother or sister by
Man,
their
you
name
can't be defending Leslie Miller, though.
it's a reason to get your
man,
teeth
that don't
knuckled,
make-
as a matter of
That
fact.
don't make no sense, man.
I'm saying to you that it has nothing to do with misogyny. We have built, listen to what I'm saying.
Well, maybe
we
not.
have built a society based on ageism, if you ask me, right? Because as long as I older than you, Bradley, get up and go do what I say. That is the system we built.
Yeah, but not in this field, not in
What
this
you talking
environment,
about?
not in the political environment. You have
Why
to,
not?
You respect people.
I respect you,
I
and I will
can't
let
see you
you
defending
know.
that though. To me, I am thinking you're too much intelligent to do what you're doing now.
Okay.
To me.
Okay.
No, don't
Think
don't
Leslie,
justify Leslie Miller. Man.
I don't think Leslie have nothing to apologize for.
Don't forget that Leslie Miller. You know what they call him, right?
The podcast.
Yeah, that's the kind of person he is. He's a aggressive, go-getter kind of man.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Hudson Moodry, Kaiser Brave Davis' wife, I remember everybody being so mad then.
Yeah, that wasn't right what he did. Either.
Okay, so when everybody decide to
That
be
wasn't
mad,
right.
that's my question.
That wasn't right. When he did that, that's insulting. You
So
shouldn't have
when
done
did everybody decide that talking about women is something to be mad about?
that. I mean, you can't be disrespecting people though.
But there wasn't no disrespect there, spiritual advice.
I believe he disrespected her by calling her a little girl. That's disrespectful.
And here's the thing, he even ain't
But when
called her it.
but-
He just referred to her.
Right. So when he said little girl, what does he mean?
Like she young,
little
she
girl
got
in
forever.
politics?
Yes, like basically, here's this girl with 1,000 years left. Man, this got to be Minutes' last one. You all really gonna yuck up this man whole legacy like this to accommodate someone that got 30 more years to go? Man, let this woman sit down. She got 30 more years to go. Give Minutes this one, and she'll come right behind him. When I tell people now I have no political ambition, you know they tell me, but you got forever. It's because they see me as a boy. Don't move, we'll be back. Hello, thank you so much for staying with us through the break. I'm Levan Miller. Welcome to Freedom March. So I feel like that didn't raise up my pressure enough. I don't know. What's your final verdict on it?
Do not allow anyone to look down on you because you're young. Don't let anyone despise your youth, whether it's in politics or religion. Here's Paul's charge to Timothy, as he would have been a young evangelist at the time, executing his duties. He says, listen, don't let anyone look down on you because you're young. But set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity.
Right.
So I do think,
And I feel like her
when you look
hollering,
down on people, it does sound a negative kind of
no,
tone.
and all her
You know?
hollering and screaming, here's the deal, right? You say you play parking before?
Yeah, man, all the time.
Okay.
When we was young.
You ever
With,
play
with the
parking?
tennis ball, right?
You ever play parking with the big boys?
No.
Because sometimes you can't go outside unless the big boys go. No? Sometimes the only way you could, this is how you all grew up in the inner city. Sometimes
grew up in
the
Camp
only
Road,
way
man.
you could go outside is if the big boys came.
Is Camp Road in the city?
Allegedly.
I grew up in Camp Road.
Allegedly. You all to shoot gun there. I wasn't playing no parking.
No. There'd be no guns around then.
Okay.
They used
So I
to
started afterwards.
throw rock and bottle and
Okay.
smoke dope and thing. That was it.
Oh, that's how it happened. Dope smoking probably goes.
Yeah, it was smoking
All right.
dope
So-
back then.
Sometimes you can't go outside unless the big boys get outside. And if the big boys decide they're going to play parking, well, naturally you won't play.
But you can't play the big boys. So
But you could.
that
You
parking,
could play with the big boys.
You can't take that kind of
You
parking.
just have to learn that when you get squire toy, you can't cry. And see,
Yeah,
this is
well.
my problem. These women, every day I turn on my good TV, I hear woman, 33% this, woman inclusion that, 25% this, woman in places of power, the next thing, one bunch of thing, everything, woman. Tell my TV get static, right? But they don't want to play by none of the rules. We can't change all the rules for you, eh? We can't just decide that we could just play Inna Minna Josephina, Hua, Tambarina, Akashaka, Boma, Saka, Baby, I love. Because you coming. We play in parking. And when you cry, Bradley, where you go?
Go inside.
On the porch. And guess what? You don't come back off. And you drink tap water till your passion cool. And that's how this happened.
Yeah, well, yeah. But
Okay. So if you're so serious, you take that pork, Leslie Pork here. What? This little girl, all you do is
That's insulting, though.
you take your ball
Yeah,
back and
that's
say,
that's
I can show you
insulting.
exactly what young girl could do.
And look what she's doing. She's running in the next general election to possibly be elected as the next member of parliament.
You want to know what my other
for Kalani.
You want to know
So,
what my
you know,
other
you should show
you
a
wanna
little
know
bit
what my
respect. She
other
may be
run-
young, yes, young compared to him,
Yeah, very.
but she's a woman still.
Yeah.
She may even be
My
married.
granny tell me
She may
say
have
she don't care if
children.
I grow tall as Jericho Wall, I ain't no man.
Well,
You know how tall I'd have to be to be as
that
tall as
doesn't
Jericho
mean that
Wall?
doesn't mean that you're not, though.
I-
She can say all she wants.
Aha,
But that doesn't mean that
now
you're
you
not.
now you saying so Leslie Miller could call her little girl as much as he like.
Yeah, that doesn't mean she's a little girl, but she don't want to be approached in that manner. That's all it is.
And all I'm saying is that there are social normalities that are colloquially accepted that really don't deserve
That
3
we
days
need to
in the
change.
news.
That we need to
That
change.
don't deserve 3 days in the news.
That we need to change.
And if you come to play parking, let's play parking. That's all. Let's go to the side.
It's a September to remember at Conet, Bahamas. Get 30% off all windows and doors all month long. Freeport, Nassau, Abaco, and Eleuthera. We carry hurricane impact sliding and impact casement windows, PVC windows, as well as casement doors, sliding doors, and PVC doors. If you're upgrading for style or preparing for hurricane season, take advantage of our biggest savings of the season only at Conet Bahamas. Conet Bahamas, dream, design, and deliver. Hey Bahamas, you ready to turn your event into a party? Royal Inflatables have you covered. From brand new bouncers to water slides and combo castles, fun is guaranteed for all ages. The equipment is clean and inspected. Daily, safe, spotless, and ready to go. Enjoy free setup and take down, on-time delivery, and 100% hassle-free service. Perfect for birthdays, school events, or any celebration. Call or WhatsApp now at 242-468-7268 to book let the bounce party begin. All right, you got some birthdays, producer?
Yeah, let's do birthdays as well.
All right. Rodman Delaveau. We understand that Rodman Delaveau, happy birthday to Rodman Delaveau, who is celebrating his birthday today, coming from his wife Gretel, his son Rodman Jr., his brother Alvin Buford, his sister Janice, his sisters-in-laws, all his Crooked Island family and friends, and of course the Annex Baptist Church Ministry, his mother-in-law, Great Plain Dean. Nico Roll, we would like to wish nephew Nico Roll in Nassau a happy birthday from your wife, your children, your mother, Lucy Roll, family in Brylon. They want you to enjoy your birthday, okay? Happy birthday, Nico Roll. Matthew Morris. Matthew Morris, we'd like to wish my nephew Matthew Morris Jr. in Brylon a happy birthday, coming from your wife, your children, your mother, Trimmy Morris, and the rest of the family. They want you to enjoy your birthday. Happy birthday, Matthew Morris. Nicola Russell would like to wish my niece, Mistress Nicola Russell, and Nassau a happy birthday. From your loving husband, Pastor C.Y. Russell, son, daughter-in-law, grandson, and the rest of the family, especially your aunts, Delary and Shami in Brylon. They want you to enjoy your birthday. Shalencia McKinney, good afternoon. Would you be kind enough to send a happy birthday greetings to Shalencia McKinney? It's coming from my husband Harry, kids Haley and Hayden, and all the Elusive family that loves her. Latonya Roll, happy birthday, Latonya Roll, Russell, from your husband Stefan, kids Isaac and Deshaun, your mom Raquel, sisters, brothers, and all who love you, especially your godmother Shelley. We love you. Doris Roberts, happy birthday, Doris Roberts from Sandy Point, Abaco. It's coming from her mother, Annie Roberts, and her two sons, Quinto and Tristan, and your sisters, Frederick Winters, Erling Heel, Carmen Roberts, brothers Herbert Roberts, RJ Roberts, Preston Roberts, Dr. Christopher Roberts, Police Corporal Julian Roberts, aunties, Bernice and George Wells, Sam and Cynthia Roberts, and Ina Knowles, and family. May God continue to bless you with good health and long life. Sharona Bernard, good morning, family and friends. Wishing a grand and colorful birthday shout out to our new member of the family, Sister Gerona Bernard. Welcome, my sister. Have a happy and wonderful birthday. All right, urgent call for blood for Rachel Riley at PMH Blood Bank, open Monday to Friday. All right, okay, that's it.
Thank you very much, spiritual advisor. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know a man by the name of Hubert Alexander Ingram?
Yeah, man. He's the second prime minister of the country, right?
Second prime minister of the Commonwealth at the moment. You remember what Lyndon Bentley used to call him?
Delivery boy.
The what?
Delivery boy.
The who?
Delivery boy.
It wasn't misogynistic then, eh? See, it had nothing to do with misogyny. Let's look at what misogyny is, right? See, I don't like when these educated women start throwing around these bunch of fancy name call. Listen.
She may think he's misogynist based on his past or something he may have done in the past or maybe some actions he may have portrayed. She may have decided to call him misogynistic.
Yeah.
But I guess calling somebody a little girl may not necessarily mean that there's misogyny, you know? I mean...
Misogyny refers to, this is ChatGPT, this ain't even, the little green man on the internet smarter than me. Misogyny refers to a deep-seated prejudice, dislike, or hatred toward women. You think the Bahamas is a misogynistic society?
I don't think so, no.
But that's what Michael is saying she think. See, and this is why man should vote against them. Because they seem to be man haters, if you ask my opinion. Because anybody this ready to just describe Bahamian men or the society that we live in as that, I don't think they are culturally prepared to represent my interests in a parliament. I don't live in a misogynistic society. I have no clue what Michael is talking about. You mean in the same society where the commissioner of police is a woman, where the governor general is a woman, where the speaker of the House Assembly is a woman, where the president of the Senate is a woman, where the deputy commander of the defense force is a woman. So much so, hold on, so much so that they got two deputy, and guess what? We don't even talk about the next one. And guess what? The next deputy commander of the defense force happens to be a man. And the honest thing we just talk about is how the woman is the deputy. Because we love women.
So we wonder,
We love women and white people.
So in what context does she mean when she said misogyny?
I don't know, but I feel like if that's how you feel, I don't want you representing me in the parliament. That's very simple.
She may not mean it to be.
Every woman in the House of Assembly,
she's
with the
running.
exception of one, is sitting in the cabinet.
Okay.
How much more woman inclusion they want? But you say that we are misogynistic. And what the little green man on the internet say? Misogyny refers to a deep-seated prejudice, dislike, or hatred towards women. That don't sound nothing like the Bahamas to me.
She may be calling him that.
No. She say this the kind of put up Michael a thing again. Let me read it.
Yeah, what does she say? She's talking about the society. She used the word society.
I want to make sure I quote her. Because see, what you can't do is just let these people. I don't care how much a degree you got. You can't let these people just go on and on and on and on about nothing. No, that ain't the right part. The part where she say, this is. Let me just read it. Ah, boy, this place, I tell you. You know, I starting to believe the Muppets could take this place over and be in charge, you know. Because anything here goes.
So you're trying to almost say she's not fit to run?
I'm saying that those people don't seem to be in line with what our social normality is. And as a consequence, I don't know if they should be policymakers because they're going to make policies that frustrate us because their policy will not align with what we consider to be socially normal. That sound improper? How does that sound to you? Tell me.
All right, thank you, Texter. But they're saying that Leslie Miller already apologized.
He didn't apologize. He said if she is offended, he could apologize. So she said.
He didn't officially apologize?
No, it depends on how you see it, but no, he didn't say I want to apologize. That's not what he said. And she said here, Miller speaking last week took issue with the FNM's ratification of Barnett Ellis and Kalani instead of former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minister who has represented the area since 2007. In his comments, he referred to Barnett Ellis, a 43-year-old woman attorney and mother, as a young little girl. Barnett Ellis, in response, labeled Miller's comments misogynistic. For a former cabinet minister, to belittle me in this way is not only disrespectful to me, so she thinks he's a misogynistic person, and that's name calling.
Right, so he treated society, right?
Hold on, no. Hold on. So he called you a little girl, you call him misogynistic. One name calling don't make the next name calling.
We understand
better.
that. We understand that.
Okay. Then she says, this is misogyny, plain and simple, and is exactly the type of tired, small-minded thinking that has held the Bahamas back for too long. Asked on Saturday whether he believes that he was disrespectful to Melissa. Not really. I could apologize to her if she gets offended, he said. I have daughters older than her, so I'm sorry, my dear, but I think you need to just calm down a little bit when you're speaking to people in that context. The political season is on, and people are going to get upright about it, but I have respect for her as a lady. In her response to Miller, Barnett Ellis said his comments were demonstrative of the PLP's broader view towards women in leadership. The FNM made a deliberate choice to bring forward a new generation of leaders, young, fresher, and more diverse slate that includes more women than ever before. We are stepping forward to represent every Bahamian, to bring new ideas and to build a future that is not trapped by the prejudices of the past. Which prejudices?
Well, she doesn't name them, so.
She did. She said the misogyny. This is what she said up here.
But no. I'm understanding that when she talked misogyny, she spoke directly to him and not society.
No. She said, stay with me. She said that his comments were misogynistic.
Right.
Then she said this is misogyny.
His comments, not society.
This is misogyny, plain and simple, and is exactly the type of tired, small-minded thinking that has held the Bahamas back.
Okay.
I don't see that in the Bahamas.
Okay. So not only is she referring to him, she may be referring to other people when she's small-minded.
That this kind of thing is what is wrong with the Bahamian society.
But that may be stretching it. I mean,
you think that's stretching it?
Yeah, maybe stretching it a bit.
Oh, boy.
You know?
Oh, boy. All right. Well, anyway, I think that she's hollering and screaming over nothing. I think it is one big, fat, juicy nothing burger. And I really don't understand how it was able to make the news for 4 whole days.
But somebody's asking us to take a look at our Eyewitness News report. They're saying that Leslie Miller already apologized on national TV for calling Michael Barnett Ellis a little girl.
I reject this outdated thinking, and we call on all Bahamians to do the same thing. Anyway, let's take some phone calls. 323-7775-6980-775. Do you have the clip from not the clip, the piece with the, you saw that the U.S. government is suggesting that they are denying all access to Haitians and that they should come to the Bahamas for visa
To apply for
applications.
visa, yeah.
And I saw that the response from the office of the Prime Minister said that they are denying all access to the Bahamas for the purpose of applying for visas. Zoom, put me on the camera. Put me on the single camera. Zoom it in. Let me say something. Philip Davis. This is where we have problems. I can't understand why you keep doing this. Listen to me, sir. Don't half-born this baby. If America says that they are not letting anybody come directly from Haiti into America, or whatever it is that their policy is suggesting, and that they must come to the Bahamas for their visa, denying access for the purpose of visa isn't enough. You just have to deny all Haitian access until such time as the American policy is relaxed or changed. And then you have to just go to CARICOM and apologize to your CARICOM counterparts. Because what do you perceive the Haitian is going to do other than lie on the form? You sound like the man. What the man tell me do by Inland Revenue?
To lie on the application.
He say I must go by Erica to get a letter and say, the letter must say that I need no letter. Remember that?
Yeah.
And what the girl tell me do? Just lie on the form.
Yeah, say it's for something else.
Yeah, just lie on the form. Philip Davis, sir, the only thing that could stop you from being Prime Minister right now is a heart attack. Nothing else. All right? Don't mess this up. As a matter of fact, I want you to freeze like when they ring the first bell in school. Just don't touch nothing and you could be Prime Minister again. But when you have these kind of policies that look like they straddle the line, I ain't sure what they're about. And I'm suggesting to you, you don't pay me for advice. You could tell me to go fly a kite. You could probably tell me go fly a frisbee. But if by chance I could get in your ear, here is what I would want you to hear. The people them just could lie. They just could say they ain't come for visa. And you know where they could end up? In visa purgatory. And you know what you could say? Well, in order for them to come, someone have to sign for them. Who you mean? They Haitian cousin who born in PMH? Who could just lie to? And now you got 2 lying Haitian? And if you think you could find Maduni Jean Child, you could be flat out of luck with that. And his lying Haitian cousin who born in PMH, you ain't gonna be able to find him either. It is my advice to you, sir. To as long as America got this ridiculous policy, and I don't care if they build the embassy to touch the sky. Tell them pack the embassy up and carry it if that's the case. But we ain't letting nobody come in here solely for the purpose of applying for no. This ain't the United States of the Bahamas or the Bahamas of America. This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. So this half a policy. I know who advised you on this, sir. But it just needs to be a flat policy. If you from La Tortie, Labadie, Port-au-Prince, Port-au-Paix, Pétionville, I don't care where you from. Oh boy, oh cap, wherever you from, you can come. Why? We ain't sure if you coming for visa. And if you come, we might can't find you. You know what's the best place to look for you? In Haiti. And that's what I want to say about that, Mr. Prime Minister. So you tell Donald Trump and the whole United States government, don't play with me, man. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I'm not opening my country to 10.9 million people to talk foolishness, but I take an application for American visa. Boy. Let's, Philip Davis, hear the voice of the prophet, all right? Tell the Americans their policy is ridiculous. And then call the Haitian them and say, boy, we like having pre-clearance lounge and We ain't want none to Haiti. So what you all do, you all stay where you all is, and we can stay where we is until such time as the Americans, our enduring friends, figure out what their policy could be. But there is no way that we could have a policy that says that we are not going to facilitate the visa processing to come into Nassau. As if the Haitian ain't could just say he come to see he cousin. He could just lie. It could be that simple. And you're never, ever, 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 ever gonna find Maduni Jane Child again. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hey, a pleasant good afternoon. How you doing today, Miller?
Hey, Antoine.
How you doing, Spurgeon?
Hey, Antoine, what's up, man?
Right here, man. I want to speak on this matter regarding Senator Michael Barnett
Right.
and former Cabinet Minister Miller, right? And then I want to make a comment also on this matter with the announcement from the U.S. Embassy in the Bahamas.
What's up with your phone, Antoine?
Y'all can't hear me?
Is
Your cell phone jammer must be waking so good today. It's waking on your phone and all.
It's ringing heavy, right? And so that may be contributing. But can you all understand what I'm
saying? If you got me on speakerphone, take us off the speakerphone. Sometimes that causes an issue.
Okay, hold on. I'm at it right now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, good. So what I wanted to express is, now, Mr. Miller, I believe you did the right thing, and you read what misogyny speaks to, right? But the Google gives a little bit more depth in the explanation. So let me just say this quickly. Where is this now? Okay, right here. Dislike of, contempt for, or ingrained prejudice against women.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Now, I don't think on the surface, Mr. Miller is someone who has an ingrained prejudice against women, right? Mr. Miller is a father of children, right? I don't think Mr. Miller has a dislike for women at all, right? I do think, though, Mr. Miller has some contempt for what is being done to his friend, former Prime Minister Hubert Minnis. Right? And so I believe that little category, to a small degree, not necessarily against the candidate that was selected, but against the FNM party for the way they're mistreating him. Right? The senator just got the nomination. And so in no way, shape, or form would she be on the map of a senior former politician or former cabinet minister like Mr. Miller, right? Except to say it was disrespectful to approach the sitting member of parliament who's occupying his constituency and according to his constituents doing a good job, right? It's very disrespectful to go and approach him about renting his facilities. Now, I don't think that facility belongs to the FNM, right? And Mr. Minnis is on the record, former PM Minnis is on the record stating very clearly that he will run again, right? And so it absolutely made no sense except to taunt him, to go and ask him to rent his facility that he operates from, runs all of his constituency programs from, etc. That's a slap to the face, right? No one is talking about that, but that's wrong, right? Now, as it relates to what you were saying, spiritual, she did cast the net very wide, politically and society-wide, right? In her statement, where she went on to say, it almost as though it's ingrained in our culture for decades, right? But she also included in her statement the Progressive Liberal Party.
Antoine, the break is coming. We gotta go. All I want to say is if the court divorce me and my wife and tell me I gotta move out, new Bubsy can't move in, tell all my things out. We coming right back after this. Hello, thank you so much for staying with us through the break. I'm Leland Miller. Bradley Rowell, the spiritual advisor extraordinary and plenipotentiary, is with me. Here's another one they like to use, Bradley.
Tanya?
Narcissistic. People like to call you that?
Narcissist.
Yeah, people like to say, oh, you narcissistic. Well, narcissistic, there is such a thing as narcissistic disorder. Yes, there is a recognized mental health condition called narcissistic personality disorder. It's classified in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DSM-5, as one of the 10 personality disorders. Let me tell you who is qualified to classify you as a narcissist. Only a licensed mental health professional is qualified to diagnose somebody with narcissistic personality disorder. So if you call me a narcissist, I go call your ma. And that's how I feel about that. Let's go to the phone lines. Hello, Tanya.
Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052.
Shop Smart, at Shop Smart, at Shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
And don't forget to shop early, shop often at the Shop Spot. Yeah, and so Bradley, don't let educated people, I mean women, call you these bunch of names, all right? Because they like to they go to college, they learn these bunch of names, and then they come back and they like
Names
to
are big
do
words.
name calling. No. When you call me a narcissist, that's name calling.
Okay.
When we argue and you say, oh my God, you're such a narcissist, that's equivalent to name calling.
Yeah, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
okay.
you go on and get smart and learn some words, you feel like you could just call me these things. Oh, you're a misogynist. That's name calling. Can we simply argue the facts of the case? Let's not argue personalities. Yeah? And so I say,
Indeed.
there was nothing here misogynistic. Again, when you consider the context of the conversation. Man, that little girl, come on, man. It's got minute 74.
But listen,
That little girl got
listen,
80 more years to go.
I think
There was nothing malicious about it.
it was degrading. It was demeaning. It was. And he apologized. He said, sorry, my dear.
I think that was more degrading. You think anybody could tell me anyhow? Sorry, my dear.
Well, yeah. Well, he softened.
That's like saying child.
No,
Yeah.
no. Child and dare, two different names.
Not child, child. You know, when you
He's
say child,
softening the blow
I ain't into that.
by apologizing.
I ain't hear no
Richard's
apology.
fitting. He says, sorry, my dear.
Well, let me put this on record. I wasn't apologizing.
Wow.
Yeah. Hello, caller. Welcome to Freedom March. Not there. Let's take it on. Hello, caller. Welcome to Freedom March. Nope. Also not there.
Hello.
Hey.
Yes. So I just wanted to speak to the. Let me turn on my radio. I wanted to speak to the whole situation with the misogynistic term and whatnot. So I feel, from a female perspective, Leslie Miller may have been wrong in what he said, but the Bahamian culture in trying to draw points across, I feel as though him saying little girl was just him using that to show the disparity between her and Minutes being a seasoned political person, not to pinpoint it, say, or to demean her in any way, but just to show that disparity of that knowledge in the political field.
So let me ask you a question, caller. Couldn't have used another word, like maybe novice or something like
Which
that?
Bahamian you ever hear?
Pardon me?
It doesn't matter, Levan.
I agree that I said that he may not have used, should not have used the word little girl.
It's
But
not
and
appropriate.
this is one of the reasons why women get such a bad rap in not only the political field but in leadership.
Yes.
Because why? People see us as being sensitive.
Yeah,
So
they cry.
even in
They
this
sound lying too
matter,
much.
she could have taken like the high road, brushed it off, or whatever the case may be, and show her, her leadership in that aspect.
Let me ask
Don't stoop to the level.
Caller, you don't sound 40 to me yet. You sound under 40. Am I right?
No.
What
Am
was
I
it?
wrong?
Almost 50.
This is why I don't play the
Right.
lottery. This is why I don't play the lottery. But at almost 50 years old, right? Have you not sat among 70-year-olds and when you tell them you 50, they say, man, you's a baby.
Yes, exactly.
It is colloquial.
Exactly.
There is an invisible hierarchy. You have cousins?
Yes,
How long it take before your big cousin stop being in charge of you?
exactly. No, seriously.
I
this is
have
what
no
I'm
other
saying.
merit,
I
and
don't
I have no
think that
other
it was
merit.
personal.
Don't use comparison,
I think
though.
it was just a matter of drawing the illustration that, hey, Menace is this seasoned political person.
Yes.
And this girl, I wouldn't say little girl, but this person
But
is
you
very
almost
young
say it 'cause
into
it's
the,
normal.
into the game.
But you almost say it because it's normal.
Carla, would you like me to call you a little girl?
It don't make me no different, man.
But that
I
is-
know who I am.
That's not polite, though. It's not polite.
But
You
this
know?
I'm not
politics,
saying that he
politics
was
ain't
right.
polite.
But I'm just saying, I don't think that all of this hullabaloo about it is not warranted, honestly.
and
it's
it
taken
doesn't-
away from issues that should be at the forefront.
But Carla, in the same breath of air, it doesn't add any validity to the claim that women are ready to compete. The chief
This
is
is
a
what I'm
thief.
saying, yeah.
The chief is a thief. You remember that?
This is what I'm saying,
Y'all
because it
call
makes
the
us
whole
look weak
Prime
and it makes
Minister
us look
Lyndon Benton a
insensitive.
thief.
So when you
That's
go on a global arena and someone says something out the way, then what?
You
You're
just
gonna
roll
cry
over
and
and
say, oh,
scream like
it's
someone threw hot water on you.
Dust yourself off.
Yeah.
It ain't that serious.
Yeah. And
Seriously.
you know what else is interesting? Carla, Veronica Owens beat Leslie Miller, did she not?
Who's that?
Didn't Veronica Owens beat Leslie in Blue Hill?
Yes, sir.
So you know what that mean? You used the woman beating you. Get ready for more woman
I just
beating.
feel as though it's just blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
And it's just taken over.
But this is what happens when people.
unnecessarily.
This is what happens when people live in these matrices, right? They live in these matrices. I think it's the plural for matrix, right? And they are simply not used to normal culture because they spend so much time in their little what is called subcultures. And so
Yeah.
somebody says something from the actual bigger society that nobody cares about, and you holler and scream like they wet you up with hot water. And that don't add to the argument that women are ready to compete.
And then I think too, the media sometimes is just make things bigger than what it is, because
Yeah.
it's like, okay, the media itself feeds on these issues and make it bigger than what it is.
Yeah.
But Carla, you won't agree, though, that there's a time and a place for some things, though?
I agree.
Okay.
I'm not saying that he was right in calling
Yeah.
her a little girl, but
Okay.
I'm just saying that it's just taken out of proportion, and then
Yeah.
it shouldn't be. It doesn't warrant all of it.
Yeah,
All right, thank you
I
so
feel
much.
similarly. Thank you,
All
Carla.
right, thank you, Carla.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, and if you can't play porking with the big boys, go back in the house.
So this caller is saying, I agree that there is a time and place for street talks, but it is what it is. It should not have been used in public forum. I see, that's what I agree with. Publicly
boy.
and in that space, I don't think it should be used. It was inappropriate.
And-
but listen, Leslie Miller apologized, so that kills the bill.
Okay, all right.
Indeed.
Let's say, and my Grammy say you can't be sorry because only Lazarus sorry. Let's take another phone call. Hello, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I have 2 points that I want to make.
Sure.
The first one is, I really don't think these 2 hours of the show should have been wasted on this straw. They are playing with straws when you should be doing issues. Okay? That's wasted time.
Okay.
And the next thing is, he who wants to give advice ought to be ready to take advice. Mr. Rule is giving an advice how he feels about Mr. Miller.
No. No, hold on a second, ma'am.
When I came on the show a couple months ago, I asked you to turn back your show for the last conversation with Rodney Munker. You know what I record from the last show you said to him? You are a nasty little man. They were your words. Were they the meaning? Were they words you should have used? Be careful. You can't condemn
But
nobody.
that's hindsight, though.
And you're wasting time on straws.
Yeah, but that's hindsight,
Have a
man.
good evening.
And then
Thank you.
Now you wasted our time because this woman didn't make any sense at all.
What she said was, you've
Going
said
back
things
to
in
the
the
tape
public, in the public domain.
Of a dead man.
No. Well, let's take the sentimentality out of it now.
Oh, come
what
on
she
now.
said was, you've said things in a public space that just colloquially.
And if I was wrong, I was wrong.
No, it ain't about right or wrong. I'm saying
is that?
there are some things that are just normal. Okay, the deviance. Hold on.
You
Deviance,
understood what she said just now. She said, I'm
understood it
trying
clearly.
to give advice,
Right,
but I need to
you
take
guys
advice.
Rodney Munker, she say. And all I'm saying to you
All right,
is,
miss, you need to send me that tape, eh?
deviance
'Cause I have
has
to apologize to
more to
Rodney.
do with what is accepted by the society than the behavior of the defiant person. And calling people children, I tell you, the fellas them say, I older than a boy, man. I call the
Man,
midwife for
listen,
him.
I don't
Yes,
care
it's
what
a
you
boy
say.
to me.
That was disrespectful.
Oh,
Honestly,
boy.
it was.
All right, let's take another phone call.
really
Hello, caller.
Yvonne Miller,
Hey.
spiritual advisor.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow night is Tuesday night now. Don't forget.
I won't forget.
Listen to me though. Was Mr. Miller wrong when he said that she was a little girl or spiritual advisor? You were worrying about where he said it. Because to Mr. Miller, she is a little girl. Now, I don't know if he said it or I haven't heard it. I just
What are
get
you
people keep
talking
talking
about?
about it
He's saying,
on different
David,
shows.
what was said or
How
where
is
was
she
said?
a little girl to Mr. Miller, young man?
43, Mr. Miller's almost 80,
That doesn't
70
matter.
something.
Look, she's a woman.
She's a girl to him.
Oh, what? You see, that's,
Me and my wife.
People like you,
Me,
you're
hold on,
are the
advisor.
problem.
Me and my wife and my mother was in the mall.
You can't approach her as a little girl.
Hold
She's
on,
a woman.
spiritual advisor.
Now you see,
Ivan,
this is the
this
problem
is
of
what you would
society
say.
now, you see.
Me, my mother, and my wife, my married wife, I was married, in the mall. And my mother tell one lady, she introduced me to the lady as her baby.
Right.
Say, this my baby.
Yeah, but you're not a baby.
I the
You're a
last
big
child.
young man.
She said, that's a baby. How you think I felt?
That's my
But that was
point.
my mother. I talk with in the presence of my wife.
Yeah. It's
That's
just
how
colloquial.
people talk.
it's a different
Now, I don't know,
context.
Miller,
No, but that's a
man,
different
so-
context. That's a different context. Totally different.
But caller,
Totally different.
I just told the spiritual advisor, I was in the watering hole. I was at the watering hole on Friday. The woman who just come to the watering hole where I just be was having a few sodas, and when she found out that I was 40, the woman tell me, I can't sit here and have soda with you. You's a baby.
But I think it's just being.
It's
And I heard
colloquialism.
you said something about your older sibling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I knew my oldest brother, the name Ivan.
You must he was 30.
No, I wasn't that old. But I was around 40, because I always thought he named Big Dust.
But you
He's
couldn't call
big.
him Ivan.
And then when I was about 13, 40, my sister, my oldest sister, I only know her sister.
That's my point. And if you call her Igora, it's because you're a disgusting, no manners boy.
And you get chastised for that.
And you
too,
might
not
not
only from
front
mom,
teeth
from
after
your
that.
mother too.
Okay. And
'Cause
not
when
just
mommy
and
go
not,
to work,
and
I
not
get in
just your
charge.
sister, not just your
Sister in
sister.
charge. She's
No.
the oldest in the house.
Not just your sister beat you, your sister beat you, and when your ma reach you home, she might dust you off a little bit as well.
Man, listen to me.
It's
yeah?
just
But this thing
colloquialism.
with Miss Barnett Ellis, she got a lot more of this to come. This is only the beginning part. If she crying over this,
Yeah, they must
Imagine
have
next year when the
put
spring
them on
really kick
medication or
over.
something. I don't know.
So you're saying she should look for some more insults?
man,
That
it
wasn't an
ain't a
insult.
lot of insult. It's just politics talk.
That wasn't an
And
insult.
now, and guess what? You get some people now noticing that it's going to bother her. Little girl end up becoming her nickname in this politics season. Watch it.
Wow.
Once they see that get to irritate her,
That's what you
watch
want to
how people
happen.
is. About you being around politics long
That's
enough,
what you
know
want to
one
happen,
thing.
right?
Once people can hold on to something that can irritate you,
Yeah.
you see when they called Mr. Ingram the delivery boy,
Yeah.
But you see what he turned around and
But
do?
he did deliver though, eh?
But
All
he-
right, you
he-
see what he turned
he
around and
learned
do?
how to
He
use-
made good
he
of it.
learned how to
And
use
then
it
he
for
make a
himself.
joke on them.
He did deliver.
So this same thing with this woman, she might say, "Get used to this now. People can be caught." She might say, "Put a hair in 2 ponytails
Yeah.
and
Now
get
you
a
see?
blow up."
Now you
Because
see?
they don't better now.
Okay,
Ingham
caller.
used-
I
Ingham
see
used to
people
say
like
they
you
call-
like
We can talk to you later. See?
Ingham used to
See?
say they called me the delivery boy.
You hear what he say, right? See, that's the foolishness you got to
He's
stop.
saying to not be a victim.
Yeah, but he's
and
saying-
simply play.
But you heard what he
it to
said,
your-
right?
He,
You heard what he said? He said she might as well get 2 ponytails and a blow pop. See, you don't do that. All you're doing is you're compounding the
Spiritual
situation.
advisor, you being emotional.
It isn't that.
You are being emotional.
He is actually irritating the situation
he is
more.
saying, just like you with Ingram,
No,
turned the
I'm
nickname
past
the
that.
delivery boy.
I'm past that. He says Michael Ellis might as well just get
Just
2
act the
ponytails.
part.
Wow.
Yeah, they call you a little girl when you tell them, and every time you see me, this little girl will be right here licking you up. I bring my blow pop with me today, Mr. Speaker. You know they say it's a little girl. Well, I'll tell you one thing. This little girl sitting in a seat, and I ain't see none of them got no seat to sit in. Not too bad for a little girl, eh? It's politics, Watson. Anyway, hello, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hello.
Hey.
God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit,
One
one God.
God.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah. Pleasant good evening to the Bridgewaters.
Good afternoon.
Spiritual advisor.
Yes, sir.
I don't know, man. I as your friend, right?
What's happening?
And you're supposed to be representing God.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm supposed to be backing you up.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how easy you making it for me. Levi Miller.
Hey, buddy.
Boy, I tell you, you cut out for politics, man, because I don't know if I could go through all of this foolishness. The way you clear up this thing, I mean, is so professionally done. I didn't thought that anybody would have been able to say anything since then you finished clearing it up. You cleared it up so brilliantly.
Thank you. You're
And
very
still
good.
this argument about it. But you use a special type of person. I think you should give up on the FNA and join the PLP, man. I need you, the PLP.
Hold on. We are the FNA because we don't play.
Yeah, right. I want people who don't play the PLP. You see?
Yeah.
But yes, my contribution here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I am 78 years of age. The two of y'all together probably old as me.
We almost be close.
Yeah, we
okay.
Towards to get almost 100.
Okay? And I have no difficulty with either one of you addressing me as the barefoot boy from Big Water and Auckland. That's who I is.
Yeah.
I am proud of that. I'm the barefoot boy from Big Water and Auckland, the son of Lewis Williamson.
Yeah.
And Estella Wakatash.
Yeah.
What if I say old man? So what's happening, old man?
Well, they call me old man all the time. That ain't nothing. I love that. Okay. Because it's a privilege to get this old.
Yeah, and I agree
with
that.
The people didn't reach that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And furthermore, Mr. Miller.
Hey.
Had you been introduced to the book?
Which book?
The book on politics.
I haven't gotten a copy yet. You want to get me one?
Man, if I could see you get around, I would have find you, boy.
All right.
Boy, don't let me miss and call you boy.
No, I good. As a matter of fact, I want to confess something, caller. You want to know something interesting?
Yes, sir.
Man, I trying so hard to be a biddy. I doing it with all my might. I won't be a biddy so bad. So if you call me boy, you might be working in my favor. Because hopefully one of these old gals may see me and hear you call me biddy, and boy, and now they could adopt me as the most versatile biddy on the block.
I don't see what the objections is all about with calling somebody young.
Yeah.
You know how many people will give an arm or leg, spend millions of dollars to get young? People doing makeover trying to get back their youth.
Yeah.
Right? And you get upset because somebody called you young. Yeah. It's a privilege.
He didn't say young.
What
it's a privilege. I want to be young.
Hey,
he didn't say young.
Caller, I got one for Bradley. What did Goliath call David?
He didn't say young.
Man, and you're a spiritual advisor. What did Goliath call David?
No, I'm not going on
All
that. But he did not say young. He did not say young. He said in a very demeaning way. He said this little girl.
This young little girl.
He did not say, you know something? You PLPs, y'all are just something else.
Oh, well, you ain't me, because I say FNA.
All right? It's like, it's like you could do no wrong.
Yeah, you ain't me.
Thank you, Gola. Where you're so blind.
All right,
you do wrong, man.
All right, 323-7775. I don't be a biddy so bad. I anxious about being a biddy. I hope someone think I's a young boy. That way I could be the most.
The man already apologized and they're
biddy
still
on
trying
the
to
block.
justify it. Wow.
What did David call Goliath? Goliath called David.
Oh, boy.
Answer the question.
Compared to who he was, yeah. I mean,
Precise. It's an analysis.
Nah.
Oh, boy.
That was reality with David Goliath. That was a reality.
And what did David do to Goliath?
Yeah, well, we all know the story.
So Michael, and I love her daddy.
But
you
David
know her
didn't do
daddy
that.
is one of the smartest
David didn't do
lawyers
that
I know.
alone, though.
What?
God was with him, my brother.
So tell Michael to call God.
God is with him.
Tell her call God. She ain't got the number.
Don't credit David alone for what he did.
But I'm saying to you,
Without the hand of
but
God,
I'm
he
saying
couldn't
to
work.
you, he was underestimated because the fierce Philistine warrior said, I've been in battle before this boy born. This the boy you all saying? And he said, listen to me, you come at me with a sword and a shield, but I come at you in the matchless name of Jesus.
Right, so God was on his side.
And all I'm saying to you is, make it your Achilles heel. Not for weakness, but make it your point of pivot and strength. Not just holler, they call me a little girl, And you know where you belong? On this porch.
No,
that's exactly what's going to happen.
You're going a bit too extreme.
And we was to Ruberdale Lane, and she to get parked like that, and scream, Harry, they park me, on this porch. And you don't come back off for the rest of the day. That's how this happened. That is what is the colloquially accepted norm.
I don't blame her to defend
Let's take
herself.
another phone call. Hello, caller. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you there?
Oh, is what?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, so I talking on behalf of the little boys here. Clearly, that's the type of thing we want to be referring to people about. I don't think there's anything wrong with Miller's comment. I also don't think there's anything wrong with the senators. And I got to say, I think if this was a game of Hawkins, Mr. Miller, you would be sitting on the porch because you brought up the fact that there should be a problem with someone calling you a little girl, but I've never heard you spend 2 hours of your whole show to talk about how being called a misogynist is a problem. I think this is a part of the political culture, and it's much different from you sitting at the bar with an old lady calling you boy. You want to look at your intellectualism, Karl Marx, but if you really knew Marx, you'd accept that this could be in the realm of misogynism. So I think that's something you have to understand and take into account. It's natural to shoot stars, and I love this show. I've been listening to the show pretty much from Rodney's. But I get by this argument by today is falling short. I remember a couple of weeks ago when you were talking about the union, you said it should be like a donkey taken to the back and shot because he was old. Now all of a sudden you are having young is the problem. So,
no, I said that they should take the donkey in the field and shoot him because he was tired. That he has told his Lord. Not because his age, him and Philip Davis the same age. If he's useless though, shoot him. And I'm saying in this instance, don't allow people to have something on you. How you let them
stoke your point. Your point was if you should be able to throw a shot, you should be able to take it, throw it back. You spend the whole first hour of the show talking how misogynism is a problem. Talking about, even in the second half of the show, narcissism, when narcissism wasn't even mentioned.
I agree. And I only use
the whole 90 minutes.
I use narcissism
rather than focusing on addressing, is this a disrespectful comment?
And it is not. And if you listen to the 2 hours, caller,
misogynism is a disrespectful comment?
It is. Because they weaponize every single action as misogyny, and I gave you the definition of misogyny, and that's not what this is about.
What's your definition?
Not my definition, I give you the dictionary definition.
Read the dictionary.
The dictionary definition of misogyny is a deep-seated prejudice, dislike, and hatred towards a woman. And you feel like that statement was from a place of deep-seated hate?
No. What's your source? Because my dictionary says something different, you know.
Well, I tell you what the definition is that on the internet. I make it up. Huh?
You need an accurate description of misogynism. Misogynism refers generally to any disdain, disrespect, or demeaning of someone based on their gender, the female gender. And you want to talk about only subcultures of this country having some type of similar view. But it's actually a large percentage. There are many women who have degrees or not degrees and believe, young people too.
I think that it is very common for them to call people names whenever they don't get what they want. Anyway, we are the time out of the show. We'll see you again tomorrow radio on Freedom March.
If it's the Lord's will, we'll be back.